Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear all viewers. Welcome to my show, Sports Talk, Hussain live on UC TV. Many thanks for all your support coming through. Please continue to share, comment and or like. Live YouTube comments are now coming through to us, and you can talk to us using the number on the screen which will follow. On this week's show, episode 3, on this topic, I'll continue to bring you views surrounding the low entry level of British South Asians in top flight football across all levels. We all have a role to play in creating awareness and improving performances of our youth today, opening hearts and opening doors to understand more. Diversity, equality and a fair qualification system being our number one agenda in top flight football. Episode 1 and 2 we've covered factors we feel may be playing their part, which are parenting, home start, sport development, empowering confidence, encouragement and involvement, academic or professional routes that we are promoting, talent that we possess, the attitude, determination and commitment of British South Asians, our diets, lifestyles, culture, personality and character, conflict of timing and halal foods in terms of the infrastructure and what's available within our academies. So they're all the topics that we've already discussed. Catch them on episode 1 and episode 2. We're going into episode 3. The question is, are we getting the right response we need? And can we shake things up to the right effect? Well, at the end of episode 2 last week, on this show, I mentioned a person named Heather Roberts, the chair at FA Inclusion Advisory Board, and she mentioned that she wants to talk to people, get involved with leading individuals and understand what they can be doing to support British South Asians on the grassroots level and for their development. Now, FA have come up with a plan for selected grassroots clubs to support and fund to become what it calls community development centres. It's somewhere where Asian players and coaches integrated with others will have access to training and where top talent can be identified and developed. Me bringing you this week's show will provide you the platform and put the selected teams forward through this process for that support and funding. We need your help and your involvement to do this right across our country. Alongside myself, once again, we have my guest, Mr. Khalid Isa, a former semi-pro level 4 referee. He brings with him 20 years of experience, grassroots level. And now he manages and plays with the men's senior team in the Combination League in Blackburn, representing Blackburn Elite FC. Let's continue to take his views on this week's show. So, Khalid, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
I like that style you had there, Khalid.
I'm just learning.
You're not doing a me there, are you, Khalid?
No, that was a bad impression, wasn't it?
Well, you're doing all right, mate. How are you doing, mate? How are you finding things, and how are you finding your responses so far on your Facebook, and we have our Sports Talk page as well?
Alhamdulillah, do you know what? I'll be honest with you, we're playing on Saturday. Just a quick mention, I don't usually do shout outs, but I'm going to give a shout out to somebody.
Okay.
Blackburn Elite, which is my team, manage on a Saturday afternoons.
Absolutely.
Alhamdulillah, do you know what? We've just signed and sealed a sponsor with Home Care for You. Uncle Mahfouz Hussain, who's just sponsored Blackburn Elite. So going forward, we'll be sponsored by Home Care for You. It means massive to us because as a grassroots team, I'll be honest with you, the money and the cost that involves in a grassroots team is not easy, and you know this just helps, and somebody helping the community is just massive.
Great. So great shout out going out there, Mr. Uncle Mahfouz Hussain.
Yeah.
Home Care, did you mention?
Home Care for You.
Home Care for You it is, sponsoring Blackburn Elite. Well done. Thank you very much. Keep that support coming through, and I hope Blackburn Elite FC do very well in your league, and I hope we see young talent coming through and getting onto the next level, top flight football. Khalid, I think, is past that right now.
Whoa, what do you mean? Do you not know goalkeepers have a life? They have a lifespan to about 60.
They never end.
Listen, you might be past it. Arsenal got it, yeah. Arsenal quite young. Look at me. I've got. Oh no, I'm gonna say I've got a full head of hair, but I ain't got nothing.
We've had this hair conversation.
I've got a full beard though. Well, inshallah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
But look, I know you're young at heart, and I know you've got a lot of passion. Alhamdulillah, you've been great in giving your insight on these episodes that we have in terms of, you know, ethnic minorities coming through. So thank you very much for that. You're definitely young at heart. The next stage really is getting our youth through the qualification system and the process.
But before I answer that, you just asked me a question and I forgot to answer it because I was too caught up in the moment. Right. So going off the response that we've had on this talk show, alhamdulillah, you know what, I'll be honest with you. Saturday, I was actually playing in nets and somebody walked past me behind the nets, and I'm going to give him a shout out. Another one, Mushi.
You've got a lot of shout outs today.
Mushi is a very well known player. He ran Bankview, he's played for Baba Zaman, Wally Range. He walked past me and he goes, Kal, mashallah, you know what, that's a great show that you're doing and keep it up. So
thank you very much, Mushi. Yeah. Top man, top shot.
Got to give Mushi a shout out, you know.
He's a player as well, has he?
Yeah. He's played. I did ask him, and I'm gonna call him out, right? I'm gonna say, Mushi, can you please come on the show when you get a chance, please? Because I did ask him. I said, Mushi, I want you on the show. Oh, Kal, I don't do
shows.
I don't do shows. But he goes, get your dad on. I said, don't worry, that's in the pipeline. That's in the pipeline.
Great. Well, it's great to get that shout. It's great to get that interaction. This is why I asked you, Kal, because you know, I get a lot of interactions myself. Obviously, we do talk during the week. We want our viewers to also get involved. It's obviously a big topic. It needs addressing, and we need a platform to do it. Now, I've mentioned early part of the introduction of this episode, Heather Roberts, FA, Chair of the Inclusion Advisory Board, and she's pushing on British South Asians also coming through to top flight football as well. The concern that she has and what she's finding at the moment is the bridging gap, getting through to communities, getting through to grassroots level clubs, and identifying and spotting the talent and the commitment that goes along with that. Obviously, if the FA is involved in this and they want players to come through, we've got to identify the talent and we've got to put them teams forward. So that's what we're here for today. And on our previous shows, alhamdulillah, we're getting movement, traction, and we will ultimately get somewhere if we continue to do what we're doing with the passion that we have to do it. Like I said, it's not going to happen if we leave it just nothing happen on its own. We have to do things about it. Okay, so Kal, without further ado then, here it is. Pressure time. Are you ready?
Oh, I've been ready. Go on. Go on. As long as it's simplified for me, right, I'll be able to answer it. If it's one of these, honestly, use some, I'm like, oh, God, but it's just gone past my head. Go on.
No, mate, I'll make it absolutely easy. I tell you, like, you've got a young heart and you give us great views, you know, straight off the bat. So that's why we're here.
Don't forget to mention the looks.
Leave that to me, yeah?
Astaghfirullah, brother. What are you promoting, bro? What are you promoting?
Look, Khalid, last week we finished on, before I do go into that, I just want to shout out to the viewers as well, just mention that we do have our live calls coming into the studio. The number's on the top of your screen. Give us a call, it's 07864 765540. Khalid, so last week we left on episode 3, we left on episode 2. We left on attitude on the pitch, how our players, kind of British South Asian players, finding it on the pitch in terms of attitude amongst their own team. Now I want to kind of pick up and say, okay, what kind of challenges are we faced with the opposition? So when I say that, what I mean is injuries, coming on hard on the tackles. When we're seeing a young BSA coming through and he's a superstar, and people like this on the pitches tend to take the limelight, and if the opposition is of a different thinking, different type of passion, and looking to, like I mentioned on episode 2, demoralising, are we finding that this player might be subjected to a higher level of injuries and potentially taking him out of the game.
I'm glad you mentioned this point because I've been there. Now, for me, I've played in a full-on Asian team, I've played in a mixed team, and I've played in a full-on English team. Now, majority of the time, I'll be honest with you, I've been in teams and I've managed teams like where I've got a lot of youth coming in, and as soon as they hear a name of a team, automatically they've got a bit of fear in them. Oh, this is we're playing this team, whatever. Now I'm going to give you an example. Tell you a story about one day I was playing for a team in Blackburn. They don't play in the Blackburn combination. They play in the Lancashire Amateur League. Right? Okay. I'm not going to mention the club's name because
grassroots level, of course.
Yeah, just a grassroots level. So I was playing in Lancashire Amateur League. The first game I turned up, I was the only Asian lad in this team. I'll be honest with you, when I first walked in, I was really shy because I was like, even though I've got like that character, I can get on with everybody. It was just the first moment you're walking into a change room where you don't know anybody at all.
Sure. Been there many times.
Yeah. So I walked into this change room and...
a little daunting at times.
It is. Yeah. Now, there was one lad that took me in, and the only reason I joined it because one of my mates, Ben Singleton at the time, he took me in because I was playing seven-side with him, and he's like, oh, Cal, we need a keep on a Saturday. You're not playing for anybody, come and sign up for us. I was like, all right, cool. Went in, and after that game, the game went well. And I'll be honest with you, because I've got a bit of a gob on me on the pitch. I'll be straight up. Right?
You haven't, have you? You're not one of the guys at your college.
I'm a wind-up person on the pitch, right. And I like to have a laugh and a joke. Anyway, that's the general.
Is that your encouragement, or?
Yeah. So anyway, the game's going on.
Encouragement the right way.
Yeah, the game's going on, and then they had this big bloke. Right, I'll be honest with you, he's about 6'3", quite stocky, playing up front. Anyway, he's tackled one of my players, and it wasn't a clean tackle; it was a dirty tackle, right? So anyway, he gets up and he starts having a do at my defender. So I've just turned around, started winding him up. Next thing, he's there effing and jeffing, and he's offering to take me out after the game. So anyway, I was winding him up. Do you really want me to get into details? All right, I'll tell you what. If we're going into that details, I'll tell you. But basically, he wanted to batter me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty harsh.
Yeah. Now. There was other players that were giving him grief or whatever. Nothing happened, but as soon as it come to me, it was like, I'm going to do this to you. Also...
in your face, were you intimidated by it?
To be honest, because I know, on a football pitch, they can't really touch you anyway, and even after the game, they really can't do... Majority of the time, it's just heat of the moment, which is fair enough, I understand that, because sometimes I get wound up on the pitch, just heat of the moment. There was another incident, that same team I was playing for, I walked into the change room, and I'll be honest with you, they didn't realise, because obviously a couple of the lads missed the game before, or they've just come back in after injuries or whatever. This is a full-on English team. I've walked into the change rooms. One English lad comes in, and he comes and we're playing a bunch of peas today, as in Pakistanis, but he's shortened it down. So he meant it in a nasty way.
Racism, Khalid.
Yeah. Everybody just looked at him, thinking, what the hell have you just said? Okay. And I'm sat there in that corner, and I've just looked up, and he's just looked at me, and he goes, sorry mate, I didn't mean you, as in like, I'm just saying generally in Pakistan.
So you're in the changing room, the only Asian there,
yeah,
and he's failed to notice you for whatever reason, and he's mentioned something that's quite not great there, Khalid.
It's happened there. It's happened on... It's happened with now playing seven-a-side. I've played for a team in seven-a-side, exactly the same thing. Time to go, because the majority of seven-a-side in Blackburn was a lot of Asian players. One of them's turned around, and because I was playing for this team, it's time to go pea bashing again. And this time, I thought I'm not having it at all. So I stood up for it. Is there
some appropriate channel that you can take this to, the referees or the...
But it's in-house between your own teammates or whatever. You can't really do much about it. What do you do? Who do you complain to? Then you can speak to your manager, you can speak to your chairman. Now it's up to the club. Now then, if they don't take no avenues, or what do you do? So for me, I'll be honest with you, now when I was playing in the seven-a-side team, I fell out with this lad. And... because I questioned him and I said, look, what's this? And you know how we tried to justify it? Well, when an English person calls a Scottish person a jock, or when a black person calls another black person an N-word, and that's how we tried justifying it. And I was just like, bro, it's not even the same thing. How can you even justify this? Anyway, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, well, it's all wrong, isn't it? Really?
His brother, right, and I've got to give his brother respect. He absolutely went ballistic at him. Anyway, after that was the last game for me. I never played back for him because I just thought, I'm not going to have this where my own teammates that I'm meant to be friends with, or, you know, I'm meant to put my trust into, and then saying this about somebody else of my colour, my skin. You know,
I can imagine that demoralised you, Khalid.
Oh, yeah, massively. And I'll be honest with you, after that season, I think I ended up putting my own team in, a youth team, another season, and then I just called it 7-a-side.
Is this our Saturday league, right?
No, this was on 7-a-side, and this at Witton Park.
Okay.
Now, and also the other league I mentioned was Lancashire Amateur League. Now, if you want to go into the Blackburn combination and the things that we've suffered at Blackburn combination.
Well, in due course, I'm sure we will, Khalid. I'm just getting on to this point that you mentioned there. You get ready in the morning. You're looking forward to a game. You're geared up for the game, and you're passionate about the game. A new set of players. You're in a new team. You put your lucky shorts for that day, and you get into this changing room, and you hear that type of comment. What type of attitude do you then take onto the pitch? And what kind of game did you have that day?
Shall I be honest with you? The only thing that you're thinking about, and I'm one of them, sometimes I do dwell on things. And even though you try, for me, it's like, it's not even about football then, because then football and all that enjoyment has been taken away. I'll be honest with you, that's how it...
Boom, just like that, Cal.
Just like that. For me, because
so that charisma,
will be on my mind.
That spark,
yeah,
that motivation,
it'll still be on the back of my head.
Yeah. Just gone.
Yeah, because I'll just be thinking about it, thinking, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe, why? What have I done to do? Have I said something? How do I react to it?
So
what do I do?
So yourself then starts, your conscience kicks in.
And then I'm questioning myself.
Doubting yourself.
Yeah.
And that doubt then goes into your...
What have I done to receive this? Or what? Why is he seeing people like this? Why?
So you actually felt like you were singled out. And,
100%.
And under that banner, would you also feel that your team cohesion and your team empowerment didn't exist?
Yeah, for me, like with certain players, and there's been one or two players that's come along and they've said to me, "Oh, Khalid, I'm sorry for what he said," and I'm like, "Well, why do you need to apologise for the next man? You don't need to apologise for that person, because you've not said it. You're not responsible for that person's action. This person needs to be educated. This person needs to go out and see the world and see the people and work with these people. Go into their homes and see what they like or how they live like." That's how I see it.
Well, great competition breeds great results, and really, when you introduce diversity, you're only going to get a better competition. Are you not, Khalid?
Yeah, 100%. You got different. The thing is with diversity, like, so you might have a certain way of playing or seeing things, yeah.
Absolutely.
But when you bring in somebody else, that picture gets bigger. Now, sometimes, I know they say with the Asian players they're more skillful, they've got that flair and all that stuff, yeah, agility wise. Where a lot of the English players have got that bruteness, like they're quite physical and stuff.
Yeah.
So things like that, it changes. So having when you're mixing things up, it does open that thing up, because then you're bringing in so many different aspects that person might not bring, or that person might not bring. Do you get me?
It takes many ingredients to cook a great dish. I absolutely know that, Khalid. That racism, well, the what you felt there under that racism obviously kicked your morale. How you then played on the pitch, and really the question going back to a tougher challenge. You mentioned dirty tackling. You mentioned, I mentioned superstar. Take out the superstar and you break the backbone of the team. You not only break the backbone of the team for that day, you may well be taking that person out of the career. And injury
I'll be honest
really set you back. Khalid, I'm going to touch on that next. 07864 765540. Get in touch with us on that number. Have you felt that some level of inequality has been expressed on a football pitch? Get in touch, share us your views. We have to take a break right now. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Wow, was that 15 minutes?
Was that Assalamu alaikum, all viewers. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. Just before the show, we actually mentioned attitude of other players or opposition on the pitch, on British South Asians being targeted, or the challenges that are coming in for our superstars a lot tougher, dirtier. Do we have to put up with more? And what are we doing to get through this? That is the question. We have Khalid. Khalid, just before the show, just before the break, I mentioned that. Are we getting challenges that are unfair for our superstars?
100%. And I'll tell you, there's been teams that I've played for, and I've had certain players that are very skillful, very nippy, very quick, and they can't keep up with them. And I'll be honest with you, they've gone in and they've just gone in just to hurt them. I'm going to mention one particular name. And, surprisingly, people might think that he's quite aggressive or whatever. But, honestly, on a football pitch, this guy has been kicked, been fouled, everything non-stop, right? And not once has he got up and reacted. And you know what? Even I've not even done that, because I've reacted.
Well, you're going to get a kick. If you think it's fair, you're just going to get on with the game. But when
you know that you feel that, you know what, they're doing it because of the colour of your skin or because of your race or your beliefs, right? 100%, you know what, you get this feeling inside your mind. It's just something that you have, and you know that it's because of the colour of your skin. You know that for a fact. And don't say you've never felt it, because I've felt it many occasions. Not just on a football pitch, just in day-to-day life as well. You probably felt it when you felt so uncomfortable because you just think, you know what, that person has got something obviously against me because of the way I am, the way I look. Is it because of my colour of my skin, my religion, my beliefs? What is it?
Well, you asked that question, and if you're on a football pitch, you're faced against competition, speed, timing, other great players. The last thing you want is to be unclear, ambiguity, doubt. That breeds discouragement. You need your players to come together, and in terms of our country level, and our fairness, equality, we need to press on this subject. Khalid, you've asked me a question there, and I'll tell you what, I'll answer something that I've experienced. I've played, as I mentioned in episode 1 and 2, a lot of football. I regard myself as a confident footballer, and when I've been playing some games, I've had times going into a challenge where I've really got to ask myself, is it worth it? Let's bear in mind, this is a full, it's a contact sport in high pace, and there are athletes who are built for this type of this sport, and going into them at high speed, top momentum, going for that ball, and you get in on a 50-50 tackle, knowing that you've got a full week ahead at work, your commitments, family, all the things you've got to do in normal life. That injury could totally take you out, not only the game, take you out for the week, and may well damage your confidence to a level you may not be able to recover. So that's a big question there, Khalid. How does one go into that challenge, winning the ball, yet having to put themselves on the line of injury?
Sometimes, I think as you get older, you can learn how to ride tackles. You can how to turn them, movement and stuff on the pitch. But yeah, I mean, I understand that point, and it's happened recently to one of my players. I mean, this was an in-house game. He's got injured, but he's out for work. And now we're amateur footballers. We pay to play. It's not like we get paid like these professionals. We pay to play. So if somebody has this mindset of going out to injure you, they could put you out for 6 months. Now, this lad I'm talking about, right? He plays for my team. He's self-employed. What does he do for the next 6 months? Because it might be an MCL, ACL. He's got tomorrow. He's got a doctor's appointment, and he's just waiting for his scan. But he could be out for 6 months. Now, what happens then? So who supports? You've got insurance, but your insurance only covers you. What? I think
an X amount.
An X amount. Yeah, it's not much.
The value of your.
But it's stopping you all your other daily routine, daily life, spending time with your children, going out, playing, picking up your kids from school, from masjid, things like that.
Absolutely.
So people have got to think about this, like when they're playing football, And now I know this is just generally, but I think when it comes to the Asian teams playing against a lot of the English teams, I know there's a lot more something behind it. You just get treated differently.
Is it fair to say, Khalid, there's a jealousy, envy factor?
I think there is that. I do agree with you on that point, but I think there's also a lot of hatred, and I think that has come down from the top. Now I'm going to bring up a subject.
Okay, before you do, Khalid, when you're saying hatred, is that coupled with envy or jealousy, or is that just hatred of, you know, we can't allow this?
When you go to the British now, when you
coming through
most
the
of the time now, right? When they class racism in the police, it's classed as hate crime. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I mean hate, what I'm meaning it as is in racism because of your colour, your culture, your religion, right? That's how I'm seeing it at the moment. It's not like, oh, I hate that person because he did this or whatever. It's because of your colour of your skin. Mainly it comes down to. Now, you talk about professional level, right? So last year or the year before, it was something to do with Raheem Sterling. Playing for Man City, he got a lot of abuse. Then he comes out in the national papers.
Was it that the monkey?
Yeah. So
gestures.
Yeah, and then he comes out in the paper saying that look at the way the tabloids and the press do the home. You know, when it comes to black players, look at the headlines that they've made. So there was something to do with a black player buying a house for his mum, and then there was a white player buying the house for his mum, and it was a complete different turn of that. Now I think, you know, they blew that up in a national level, saying, "Oh, the racism is massive, is massive, is massive." That for me, right? That's nothing, because this is what we put up with majority of the time at grassroots level. There was an incident 3 years ago, Blackburn.
This is what you put up with majority of the time at grassroots level, coming from you, semi-pro level 4 referee with 20 years of experience. Have you suffered anything of this sort? Do you feel discouraged because of this? Get in touch with us. We want to hear your views. 07864 765540. The number's on the screen. Alternatively, drop your comments on the YouTube live comments box. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna cut you off. So 4 years ago, Blackburn Elite, we've just entered Blackburn Combination. The first season that we've entered. We had a team called, they were called the Black Dog FC. They were from Oswald, right?
I played against them a couple of times.
Right.
Playing for the team in Accrington,
what we had,
Globe FC.
Right. What we had was basically, we had a social media account. So we had Facebook and Twitter. So one of my English lads, Josh, who was running the the Twitter account. So after every result, we used to put up the score, whether we lost or we won. Majority of the time we won.
Keeping your fans updated, right?
So he's put it up, saying that we played this game and we won. Now this Black Dog FC, when they come into Blackburn League, they were meant to be the best team in around Accrington area, because I think they went 3 years unbeaten. So as they went in, they played us, we beat them 7-0. So we've reported the score on our Twitter page. Next thing, one of the lads from their Twitter account has contacted us back saying,
sorry Khalid, you do go quite
at the time. So anyway, what I've done, I've taken screenshots, sent it off to the FA, Lancashire FA, so the main FA headquarters in London, the Lancashire FA, which is our governing body around this area.
Okay.
My league, which is Blackburn Combination. I've gone through...
Your league, what, the managers of your league?
Blackburn Combination.
Yeah, okay.
And also, I've reported it to the police and Kick It Out.
Right, okay, yeah, the Kick It Out is the body that kind of...
Well, they're not a body, they're a charity organisation. This is what I'm going to touch upon, Kick It Out.
Tell me more.
So Kick It Out, I'll be honest, I reported it. Not a single word I got back from them. Not even an acknowledgement saying that thank you for reporting this case or whatever.
How did you send this in to them?
So they've got this submission form on this... submitting this form on their website.
Online, on the website, right?
And basically you got to put in all the descriptions.
Of exactly what happened? So you do your own,
so I
put your case forward?
Put everything forward. I even sent the screenshots from the phone, from the Twitter and everything, right?
Yeah.
Not even a single message back from Kick It Out. Now I've contacted the police. I've gone down to a police station, they've called me in saying, can you come in for an interview and give a statement? I said, okay, cool, no problem. I went in.
This is your local police station, right?
This is Blackburn, Lancashire Police, right?
Okay.
I've gone in, Tuesday afternoon, they've called me in 1 o'clock. I've got there for 12:58. By 1 minute past 1, they're already telling me to leave.
I'm pretty good at maths, but that's 3 minutes, Carl.
Right. It took a minute for her to come and pick me up. Not pick me up, but her to take me into the interview room.
And she's heard your whole story in a minute.
Well, this is how I was just going to get at. This is what I was just going to get at.
Right.
She's coming. Right.
Sounds absurd.
Can you tell me
sounds
the team?
Absurd.
Right. So what's happened? So I've briefly given the description, not mentioned no team names or nothing or where it's happened, nothing. Right. What it is, I've got the notes, and the best thing I can do now is go and advise this person.
This is now the police officer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, what do you mean advise this person? She goes, well, we can only go and advise this individual. I said, hang on, but is this class as racism? Is it this class as Islamophobia, as you lot make it out to be? It's called Islamophobia,
Well,
right?
yeah,
so
the comment,
the
comment is Islamophobic.
Yeah. So I said, why is it not further? Well, what do you want me to do? I said, well, is it not an arrestable offence? Well, when it comes to social media, it's different. I said, right, so if he was on the street, you would have arrested him, am I right? She goes, yes. I was like, okay, cool. So you're not going to arrest him? She's like, no, we're not going to arrest him. We're just going to go on, I'm just going to go and warn him about his future conduct. I said, that doesn't make sense to me. So she goes to be right. So, okay, no problem. I'll see you later. So I said, okay, cool. So what I've done, I'll open the door. As I've opened the door, I'm waiting for her to ask me, what team is it? Where was this port? Let me see the screenshots. Nothing yet. So I've opened the door. Waiting. I was taking it one step out, and then I thought, right, she's not even asking me. Let me close the door again. So I closed the door and I've turned back and I've said, right, I'm not happy with the way you've handled this. You've not bought out a pen, you've not bought out a notepad, you've not even bought out a tape recorder to record this conversation. So how are you meant to know what's gone on? So then she goes to me, well, okay then. Then she goes, give me a minute. She goes inside to the next room, she comes back out, pen and paper, on a scrap piece of paper. Team name? Where was it said? Okay, right, we'll deal with it. I said, right, so you're saying social media have different roles, yeah? So if I was to say now on my Twitter that I'm gonna go and do something like bad, as in like go and beat somebody up or
threatening type of
would you come and arrest me right now?
Insulting anybody or being racist or that
well no because I had to go on a different vibe. I couldn't use this name racist because she'll just say
you can't say the racism discrimination thing,
so
can you, too quick?
I said to her, and you know what she goes to me, but you're talking about a whole different scenario. So I said to her, what if I was to go and blow up the church? I said, how would you feel then?
Whoa, cut,
no, I said that on
easy. Cut.
No, I just give her an example that if I was to put that on social media, how would you deal with it? Because she was trying to justify saying why she's going to go and have a chat with this person and not explain.
And did you get a reply from that?
She goes, well, I would come and arrest you. I said, well,
you would actually, is that what she said?
Yeah. So I said, okay, then that's fine, no problem. I said, okay.
So you've been knocked back, you've had a comment on your Facebook.
I actually felt like, instead of being the victim, I actually felt like I was the one who's accused and being the one who's actually committing this crime. And I just walked away and I said, you know what, forget it.
I'm sorry to hear that, Carl. So, you know what, I have to be a little bit, because it's devastating, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about British South Asians getting into top flight football. You've got 20 years of experience. You're former level 4 referee.
There's been so many incidents.
And you're one individual with that type of experience.
I don't think I'm the only individual.
But this
I'll be honest with you, I think there's a lot more people that's been out and suffered the same.
We need our viewers to get on board, to express your views. Let's put them vote numbers into a box so we are power in numbers, power of the people. We're only going to make change if we push it. And we're going to push it by you guys interacting with us, letting us know what your views are, letting us know what we think, so we know we have an X amount of passion in this subject and we could get Y out of it. Get in touch. Sorry, Khalid. Get in touch with us. The number's on the screen. Call us, make some comments, let us know what you think. We need to keep this baby moving.
I've got the phone in my hand. And you know what, I'm just reading one of the comments that we've got on YouTube. Zed Patel. I think until the refs don't take a stance on racial comments on the pitch, it will be very hard to put a stop to the abuse. The FA need to debrief the refs. Then again, some refs have the wrong mindset. Now,
sorry, who's that coming by?
Zed Patel.
Zed Patel. Thank you very much, Zed Patel. What's your take on that? Because I've got a take on that as well. I want to know your views on that. Cap.
Going off personal experiences, I've played in games where the referee has basically acted like they've not heard it. Because it's an easy thing. Because do I hear it? Do I not hear it? Because you know what it's going to involve? It's going to involve paperwork. So I think he is right that some of the referees do take that stance and they don't take it further.
Well,
and then, but then also, then it comes down to report writing. So when it comes down to something like this, people do need to explain, and when they put it in the reports, they need to put down the full details. Now anything can happen in that. If they miss out certain information, it can go in favour of the accused, or it can go in favour of the victim.
A fine line,
yeah,
as such.
So a lot of referees, and I've been there. We've played against in the past. We've played against teams, and basically, one referee. If I'm I'm a keeper. I'm in one net. This is happening in the other box, and I can hear their player, their right back at the time, shouting, "I hope you all die of cancer, you black bees." Yeah. I hope your mom and your dad gets cancer.
Allah.
Right. So the referee stood literally 20 yards away from him, and he's turning around saying, "I can't hear him." I've never heard it. I've actually, you know what, I was taking a goal kick. When it come back towards my end, I stopped. I said, "Ref, I'm not taking a goal kick until you deal with it." He goes, "I've not heard it. What do you want me to do?" I said, "Well, right, can you put this down in your report though? Can you make it sure that you put this in your match report that I have reported that there has been some kind of incident, but I didn't hear it? At least do us that, so then at least we can take this forward." He didn't even do that. So that I do understand where Zed's coming from. Then we've had a comment from Mr. Ismail Isa, which you know the name.
Oh, we've introduced before. Has your dad? Yeah.
Zed, the amount of training that I give to all our referees and all valid points regarding racial issues and other mentoring, but it's up to them to deal with it on the pitch. He's right. They are going through a bit of a backwards and forwards.
Is that the referee once again?
Yeah.
Okay, they're going. Okay, that's fine. That's a big point then, Khalid. We're saying that the referees, are we then targeting the refs? Okay, referees are on the hot spot right now. You're a referee. So you're saying that the referee has to make these reports. There's a fine line in terms of delivering that report. There's some paperwork to do.
Yeah, and
are the referees...
I mean, now it's all computerised now because it's so easy. They've got this whole game system, so it just goes on there.
That's fine. But do they have some kind of PDA or some kind of...
Yeah,
it's still manual writing.
Yeah, but it's no. You just type it out.
Oh, type it. Okay. Khalid, my friend, look, you're a referee, aren't you? I don't have to go out there and look for a referee and get his viewpoint. You're right here. First of all, how many British South Asian referees do we have in the circuit? So when you're playing in your Blackburn Combination League, Blackburn Elite FC, and there's 8 games. How many games? 8 games going on the Saturday. How many of them referees? 8 referees. Do you have linesmen, by the way?
We have club linesmen.
We have player linesmen, don't we? Don't have a
we have club linesmen. When it comes to neutral assistant referees, like proper referees and assistants, it's usually in the semi-finals or finals. But at the moment, it's very hard to get hold of referees.
Out of the 8 referees, excluding yourself, of course, how many referees are Asian?
Out of 8, I would say at least 3 would be 8. So you're talking...
3 out of 8 would be Asians.
Yeah.
So 5 referees are white.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question for me then, viewers, and I'd like your view on this as well, please get in touch.
But then I want to mention something else before you go on to it.
You do this to me all the time, Khalid.
No, I'll tell you why, because it's an important point. See, when an Asian referee referees an Asian team against a white team, they'll get called racist. The Asian referee... when an Asian referee referees an Asian team, referees against a white team, so it'll be an Asian team versus a white team.
Because I'm thinking
what will happen is, when the Asian referee goes against the white team by giving a decision, they use that.
Straight racism card.
Yeah.
But we don't use the racism card. We don't use the racism card.
Now, I'll be honest with you, as a referee, and I can tell you so many other referees do it. When an Asian referee is refereeing an Asian team and a white team, you know what happens with the Asian referee? He tends to go more towards the English team because he doesn't want to be classed as a racist. And that's a fact.
Well, that opens up a topic. So are you therefore saying he is somewhat pressurised to be making
the
tough decisions?
Yeah.
So it's not only being thumped and getting injured and fearing that your ankles might just get twisted on the next tackle, referees are not giving us a fair judgment, a fair call. If referees are hearing players X, Y and Z
I've had a question.
bantering, if I may call it finish once again, are our referees strong enough? Are our referees getting encouraged enough to make the right decisions? And if they are feeling pressurised, what kind of support, what kind of infrastructure is out there for our referees? Have you witnessed this on the pitch yourself? Is this something that's happened to you? Get in touch with us. The number's on the screen, or drop us some live comments. Sorry, Khalid, come on, my friend. You have to do this, haven't you? Because I'm getting quite a bit of a knack of this.
Earl Roberts, if the refs are being trained to deal with racial issues, then FA should enforce fines, etc., in line with the level of neglect towards racial discrimination on the pitch.
Mr. Earl Roberts commented on the first episode as well. Guys, staying well in tune with this. I think I need to call you into the show sometime.
He's bang on with something.
He's bang on.
I'll tell you something.
That's one way
you know
to
the
stop
incident
it.
I was mentioning about the going to the police. So it went through to a Lancashire FA. They charged the person who was in charge of that Black Dog football team.
Okay.
You know what they give him?
I don't know. What
a 7-game ban and 150 quid fine. Right?
Okay.
Subject
so Earl, that has happened.
Hang on, I'm not finished yet.
Sorry, Earl. 1 second, my friend.
You get a 7-game ban. You can they turn it into a 4-game ban if you attend a workshop. But these workshops
a bit like a speeding kind of awareness cost reduction.
But these workshops never go ahead.
Why not?
Because the LFA, they just don't have, they say these workshops and they say we'll reduce your ban if you attend a workshop. It's just to raise awareness. I've been in that situation and there's
You've
been
never
no
heard
workshop.
a player going into one of these workshops?
No, never.
Getting,
no. They've never gone ahead.
Some sort of counselling or remolding or something.
So in the end, he served a 4-game ban. Yeah, because he's agreed to go on this course, but they've never done this workshop. Right? Secondly...
What about the money? The cash?
Right, so 150 quid
Did he put his hands in his pockets?
Well, I don't know if he's paid the fine because we never get to find out. We never get to find out. But you get a normal sending off and you appeal against it. Majority of the time, they give you a 7-game ban, which is exactly the same as what this guy's
So what's the difference for him?
You're 45 quid, which is a fine for normal sending off. Then you got to pay if you go for an appeal, which is another 45, 50 quid. And then if you get found guilty at this appeal, they give you another 50 quid fine. So it comes out to 150 quid. So was it any different to what this guy's charged with, to any different to a normal sending off and his appeal? Is it any different?
It doesn't sound like it to me.
Exactly. This is the point I was trying to make with the Lancashire.
What are you saying to me in summary there? And I'll summarise it to our viewers, because you do talk pretty quick, Khalid.
Sorry,
I'll let you.
I'm very, very passionate about this. I've been there, and I'll be honest with you, it's just frustrated me over the time, and it's just been
building up,
and finally I've got it off.
On that build up, I'm going to let you sip on that water. I'll summarise it for our viewers. A comment has been made on Khalid towards his team, quite harsh. He's taken it over to the relative bodies that he think are sorting out. They give him a fine. We don't know if it's been paid. They give him a 7-match ban. Doesn't sound like, from what Khalid's telling me, that was honoured also, and he got treated as basically a dirty tackle on the pitch. The charges that were put forward don't match the fines that were given and what that player has done. So what I'm trying to say, or what I'd like to say simply, is the appropriate level of action is not being observed or managed throughout the football industry. Khalid, excuse me. So that's that. Some interesting points. Attitude, fairness, equality on the pitch, in the changing rooms. Does that really tie into hooliganism? Is my next question. What's this whole hooligan aspect of our game, beloved game, our passionate game, football? Could you give us some insight on that? Because I've seen some movies, Green Street and all of that, and you hear about Millwall back in the day, and you hear about all these London clubs, West Ham.
I shouldn't smile when you say Millwall.
And
I tell the Millwall smile, didn't they?
I don't really know much about it. You see, I've kept myself involved in what is productive over the time, and this show really is for highlighting some of the feelings that I've got in football, and I feel that I need to transfer my knowledge my skills along with my guest Khalid Isak, so that the future of our football could remould and take new shape. So Khalid, the next step I'm really getting into is you mentioned and your father Ismail Isak, something that you started many years ago. It's the Hawthorns League. And I see you've got a smile when I say the Hawthorns League, Cal, and I know...
Oh, them were the days, man. I had a full head of hair as well back in them days. I was a cheeky little choppy back in them days.
I'd love to see you them days, Khalid.
Oh, I pulled off a dirty transfer move in them days as well.
I actually did as well, you know. I enjoyed that hair on you them days, mate. It was a really great time. Look, Cal, I mentioned at the beginning of this show, and I want the viewers to get involved with this as well, of course. We need power of the people. We need everybody's support in this way to get some kind of results. FA Inclusion Committee, the Committee Board, Inclusion Board, Advisory Board, has created community centres. Okay, they're looking for teams, selected teams that they could fund and support in the development of British South Asians getting into top flight football. For me, how are we going to do this? How are they going to reach out to the individuals and them superstars? I feel through episode 1 and episode 2, and this being episode 3, we need to encourage our youth and the teams that are playing today in Blackburn, particularly because we're in Blackburn, we want to highlight them teams.
There's many teams.
Okay, we want to get them teams into them funding positions, into them support networks, and then we want to follow them. That's right, we want to follow them. We want to see what areas of development we need to go into, and we're going to use the Hawthorns League, which I personally don't know much about. I played with Khalid for 15 years. We started playing about 15 years ago, Cal.
Yeah.
And he knows everything. I had the birth of it. His father, Ismail Isak, and the members that are also involved in the birth of that Hawthorns League. And we will be using Hawthorns League as a case study. What happened in the Hawthorns League? How did it develop? Which players come out of that league? And what's happened to them? Where are you guys? We need your knowledge. We need your experiences so that we can transfer them to our youth and we can start having a momentum of youth coming through to the qualification process. And should there be that person, nothing, absolutely nothing should stop them from achieving that status. Top flight football.
Are you quite done now? Can I say something? I want to talk about the Hawthorns. You're going on, let me talk about the Hawthorns.
I'm passionate about this, right?
Let me talk about the Hawthorns League, innit?
Right, Khalid, take it away, bro, take it away. Tell me about the Hawthorns.
Where did it start? Where did it start? It started off, I'll be honest with you, I was possibly 9 years old. We used to have a shop in Little Owen. My dad used to have a shop. You know, my mum was always there. My dad decided, you know what, he's always had this thing. He's run senior leagues for years and years. 7-a-side, 11-a-side, everything, right? He's done it. He's run teams and all sorts. He thought, right, let me tap into youth football. So him and Uncle Javid Feroz, who owns Temple Drive, it's not Temple.
Javid Feroz, right?
Yeah, Javid Feroz,
okay.
who owns tyre place, right?
Right, okay.
So they've gone in and they've set up a team, which was myself, my age group, and they've got hired out a school in Blackburn. Hawthorns is actually a school in Blackburn. It's off St James's Road.
Right, you see.
That's where the name Hawthorns comes in, because that's where it was played. So it was a grass pitch,
right.
And it was a 7-a-side, 8-a-side grass pitch. So we went in and we started it off. So it was my dad and Jav who started it off.
Yeah.
And it started off from under 9s, and then as the years went on, it went all the way to senior football on grass. It wasn't ash turf. It wasn't gravel, as in them days they used to have a lot of gravel.
The real deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Grass.
So it went on, and basically from that, what they wanted was to create the first Asian player to hit the Premiership level, and it was my dad and Jav. Now there's 2 players that come out of there: Shakil Butt, which we mentioned previously, and Yaqub Khan. They both got academy. They were both at academies. Shakil Butt was at Burnley, and Yaqub Khan was at Bolton, and then he got released and he went to Blackburn, and then from there he went to, I think later on in his career, he went to Dagenham, he went to Darwin. He played.
Is this Yaqub or Shakir? Because I know Shakir personally.
Yaqub. This is Yaqub.
So
Yaqub's played at quite a few different clubs.
Shaky went to Burnley, didn't we mention this in episode 1, didn't we? Yeah.
But then after what they did, that first season was the season that started. So basically, obviously, my team won it.
Was Yaqub as good as... I don't want to get the boys kicking up. I don't want anybody to get kicking up. I don't know Yaqub.
We were
was as good as Shakir? Because I know Shakir was a superstar.
Yaqub was a year younger than us, and he was in the team. So basically, end of that season, we've entered this team into the junior leagues, which is the open league where it's played on a Saturday morning. This is the local league.
Okay, so from junior to seniors?
No, this is still junior. So this is under 9s and going up to under 10s.
Oh, right, yeah, 9, 10,
and 11s.
Okay, yeah.
And we called it Blackburn Muslim United.
Blackburn Muslim United team.
Yes.
So at that time, it was
basically we picked out all the players. My dad and Jav picked out all the best players from this league and put them into one team.
Okay.
Further on, which we're going to go into a bit details next time. I'm not going to go into it today. But then he got on to another team.
I tell you what, you say that as well, Khalid, and I'm just looking at the time in regards to this show. I'm absolutely gutted, Khalid. I've got to be honest with you. We're going into the meat of it, really, in terms of locally, Blackburn, Hawthorns League, all the things that we mentioned in episode 1, episode 2 and episode 3, with this episode. If you feel that we have missed a point, something that you think is relevant to what we need to be talking about, I would love to hear your views. Share me your views. We'll bring it in next week. I want to learn. I'm here to break that mould. If there's something we missed, give us a shout. We're touching Blackburn Hawthorns, the league, the Hawthorns League next week. It's what happened to our superstars, how many superstars come out of it. It was in Blackburn, it's in our turf. We could reach out to these people, and the chances are, if what happened to Blackburn Hawthorns League went down to a nothing, more than likely, wherever you are, if it's in the northwest, up and down the country, probably the same has happened where you are. Blackburn Hawthorn League is our case study. We will then identify a team to put forward to the FA's inclusion board, and we're going to take it from there. Check our videos out, episode 1, 2 and 3. Drop us your views, likes and shares. Get back on UCTV next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Myself, your host, Hussain Mahmood, and guest Khalid Isa.